You are 38, you earn $100,000 a year, and you have $4,200 in savings. Your colleague earns $50,000 a year and has $41,000 in savings. Same city, same cost of living, same number of years in the workforce. The gap between your incomes is $50,000. The gap between your savings is $36,800, in the wrong direction. You know this because you sat down last Sunday with a coffee and a spreadsheet and did the math for the first time in 3 years. And when the number appeared, you stared at it long enough that the coffee went cold. By the end of this video, you'll definitely see that the $100,000 salary doesn't make you richer than the person earning half as much. It makes you a bigger target for every system designed to extract money from people who feel like they can afford it. You'll find out exactly why you're stuck, and the answer has nothing to do with how hard you work. This is your life inside the middle-class trap. Year 1. The raise. You are 29 and you just got the job. $100,000 a year, benefits, a title that sounds serious at dinner parties. You grew up in a house where $100,000 was the number people said when they meant set for life. And now it's your number, deposited in 2 installments every month into an account you check more often than you check the news. The first month, you pay off the credit card you've been carrying since 27. $3,400, gone in one transfer. You feel the specific relief of a weight you'd forgotten you were carrying. The second month, you move apartments. Not dramatically, just better. $400 more a month, which at $100,000 feels like nothing, which is exactly the problem. The new apartment has a gym in the building and a doorman who learns your name in the first week. You stop going to the $30 a month gym 2 blocks away. The building gym is included. The third month, you lease a car. $520 a month, nothing down, 3 years. You needed a car anyway, and this one is reliable, and it parks cleanly in the underground garage of the new apartment. The math felt simple when you did it in the dealership. By month 6, you have upgraded your phone, your laptop, your wardrobe for the new office, and your grocery store. Each upgrade was reasonable. Each one was the kind of thing someone earning $100,000 was supposed to do. Together, they added $1,840 to your monthly expenses without your noticing, because noticing would have required adding them up, and adding them up would have required admitting something you weren't ready to admit. Your savings account at the end of year 1, $3,200. 12 months of $100,000 and you have less saved than you did at 27 earning $54,000. Because at 27, you were still a little afraid of money and fear is a better saving strategy than comfort. The first rule, the raise doesn't change your wealth, it changes your permissions. And every system around you is waiting for you to use them. Year 2, the lifestyle. You are 30 and the lifestyle has settled into something that feels like normal. Normal is the word that does the most damage at this level. Normal means you stop questioning the $18 lunches because everyone at your office eats $18 lunches. Normal means the $140 monthly streaming subscriptions you've accumulated across 4 platforms, 2 of which you haven't opened in 8 weeks. Normal means the weekend trips that started as occasional and became quarterly and are now feeling monthly. Each one going on the credit card with the intention of paying it in full, which you do most months, except the months you don't, and the months you don't leave a balance that costs you $40 in interest and a mild background anxiety you've learned to sit with. You invest nothing in year 2, not from laziness, from sequence. There is always something that comes before the investment. The credit card balance first, then the investment. The car service visit first, then the investment. The weekend first, then the investment. The investment is always next month's version of this month's intention. Your colleague who earns $50,000 invests $400 a month into an index fund. She has been doing this since she was 26. She doesn't think about it because it leaves her account automatically on the first of every month, before she can decide to spend it instead. You think about investing every month. Thinking about it is not the same as doing it. You tap the pen against the edge of your notebook. Twice, slow, then stop, when the credit card statement arrives in October and the balance is $4,200. You pay it. You feel fine. You open the streaming service you haven't used in 8 weeks and watch something for 40 minutes and fall asleep. Your savings account at the end of year 2, $2,800. It went down. You were earning $100,000 and your savings went down. The second rule, lifestyle inflation doesn't feel like inflation. It feels like finally living the way you were always supposed to. Year 3, the comparison. You are 31 and you go to your college roommate's housewarming party. He earns $130,000. The house is $680,000, 4-bedroom, backyard with a deck, a neighborhood where the elementary schools have good reviews. His wife earns $95,000. You do the math in the car on the way home, and the math is not comforting. You are not jealous. You tell yourself this, and it is mostly true. What you feel is closer to recalibration, a quiet recalculation of where you are on a scale you didn't know you were being measured on. The following Monday, you begin looking at apartments to buy. Not seriously at first, just looking, the way you look at things when you want to feel like you're doing something without committing to the thing. You spend 4 hours on a Saturday on 3 different real estate apps. You find 2 properties in a neighborhood you could see yourself in. One is $520,000. One is $495,000. You save both to a folder called Research. You call a mortgage broker. He says, with your income and your credit score, 741, which feels good until he explains what excellent looks like, you could qualify for up to $480,000. He asks about your savings for a down payment. You tell him. There is a pause that is not quite a pause, but contains one. You need $24,750 for a 5% down payment plus closing costs. You have $2,800. The gap is $21,950. At your current savings rate, it will take you 4 years and 7 months to close that gap, and by then, the properties will cost more. You tap the pen against the notebook twice. Slow, then stop. And then you open the real estate app again and look at the 2 properties you saved. And they are still there, still the same price, still not yours. Your colleague who earns $50,000 bought a studio apartment at 28 for $180,000 with a 10% down payment she'd been saving for 3 years. It's worth $247,000 now. The third rule, comparison at this level is useful exactly once, if you use it to look at the math instead of the house. Year 4, the realization. You are 32, and it is a Sunday, and the coffee is going cold. You built the spreadsheet because you couldn't sleep on Saturday night. Not from worry exactly, but from a low background frequency that had been running for months and had no name until you gave it one at 11:30 p.m. by opening the laptop. The spreadsheet says this: in 4 years of earning $100,000, you have accumulated $4,200 in savings, $6,400 in a 401k. Your company matches at 3%, which you've been contributing to at exactly 3% since day one, and $14,800 in assorted debt. The car lease obligation, 1 credit card, a personal loan you took for a trip to Japan that you don't regret but that costs you $210 a month. Total net liquid worth, negative $4,200. You are 32, you earn $100,000 a year, and your net worth is negative. You sit with this for a long time. The apartment is quiet. Your partner is asleep. The city is doing what cities do at 2 a.m., and you are at the kitchen table with a spreadsheet that has answered a question you spent 4 years not asking. The thing about the $50,000 earner isn't that she's smarter or more disciplined. It's that her margin is visible. At $50,000, every dollar is accounted for because it has to be. At $100,000, the margin feels invisible because there always seems to be more coming. And things that feel invisible don't get managed, they get spent. You close the laptop. You open it again. You make 3 changes to the spreadsheet. Automatic investment transfer, $800 a month starting the 1st of next month. Increase 401k contribution to 8%. Cancel 2 streaming subscriptions and the gym membership you pay for separately from the building gym you actually use. The monthly savings from the 3 changes, $490. The monthly investment from the automatic transfer, $800. Total new monthly allocation toward future, $1,290. You feel something that isn't quite relief. It's closer to the feeling of seeing the thing clearly after a long time of looking at it without quite focusing. The 4th rule, the realization is not the rescue. The realization is just the beginning of the actual work. Year 5. The repair. You are 33 and you have been living differently for 11 months. Not dramatically. Nobody at your office knows. The $18 lunches became $9 lunches 3 days a week. The weekend trips became one trip a quarter with a budget set before booking rather than after landing. The credit card is paid in full every month, has been for 9 months, and the month it isn't will be the month you take from the emergency fund you've been building since January. The emergency fund has $6,200 in it. The investment account has $9,400. The 401k has grown to $22,800 with the increased contribution and the market doing what the market does when you leave it alone. Total net worth, $33,600. Positive. For the first time since you were 26. Your colleague who earns $50,000 has $41,000 in savings. She is still ahead, but the gap is closing. And more importantly, the direction has reversed. And direction matters more than position at this stage. You still live in the same apartment. You still drive the same leased car. You didn't break the lease, you let it expire and bought a used car for $11,000 cash, the first cash purchase of anything significant you've made since you were 24. The salesman seemed slightly confused by this. You didn't explain. Your partner asks if something changed. You say yes. She asks what? You say the way I think about the gap between what comes in and what leaves. She says that sounds like something from a book. You say it sounds like a spreadsheet. She laughs. You go to dinner and you order what you want and you don't check the total before you order, because you know what's in the account and you know what's going out, and the dinner is inside the numbers. That is a new feeling. Small, specific, and entirely yours. The fifth rule. Repair is not punishment. Repair is just the math running in the right direction for long enough that the direction becomes the habit. Year 6. The other side. You are 34 and your net worth is $67,000. You earn the same $100,000. Nothing dramatic changed in the income. Everything changed in the relationship between what comes in and what you decide to do with it before the world decides for you. Your investment account has $28,400. Your emergency fund is fully funded at 3 months of expenses. Your 401k is $41,000. You have no consumer debt. The car is paid for. The credit card is a tool now, not a creditor. Your colleague who earns $50,000 has $58,000 in savings. She is still ahead, but you are both on the same side of something now. The side where the money works for you slightly faster than you spend it, and the compound interest is small, but it is real and it is yours. You go to another housewarming party. Different colleague, different house, same $680,000 range, same deck, same neighborhood with the good schools. You feel something different this time. Not recalibration, not the quiet calculation in the car on the way home. Just dinner. You sit at the table, you eat the food, you talk to the people, and at no point does the number on the house enter your thoughts as something to measure yourself against. Because you finally understand that the house is not the metric. The metric is the gap between what you earn and what you keep, and what you keep is pointing in the right direction for the first time in 6 years. Somewhere right now, someone just got the raise. The number hit the account this morning, and they are already on their phone looking at apartments, at cars, at the version of the life that the number seems to promise. They think the $100,000 is the arrival. It isn't. The $100,000 is the test. And the test isn't whether you can earn it. You already passed that part. The test is whether you can resist the permission it gives you to spend it before it becomes something permanent. The trap isn't the salary. The trap is the feeling that the salary is enough. It never is, until you decide what enough actually means, and write it down and live inside the number instead of ahead of it.